Live. I'm here with my partner, Matt Perez, and today's guest is Edgard Hörz. Welcome, Edgar.
Hi.
Nice to have you. So we typically talk about what's happening in the space of organizations and how we organize ourselves. And it sounds like you figured out a different way of seeing organizations and of seeing how you operate inside an organization. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you see things.
Yeah, sure. So I have the background of I was working on an agency in Germany and was the chief digital officer there. So I built up the whole department, digital team, and I was leading this team, and it was a great team. We were successful, but then last year something changed in my thinking about things, and this is why I call it consciousness matters, because I became aware of things where I think other people do not care about, and this kind of things, for example, are what I'm doing for what kind of people and for what kind of companies I'm doing my job. So I'm using my time and my energy. And this is something which I discovered a lot of companies out there have the same issue, because we live in a world which is quite ego-driven, and success is defined by making a lot of money. And I discovered something which is more important than that. And I started thinking about it and talked to a lot of people, and I'm not alone in this situation. So a lot of people are like waking up in terms of they become aware what they are actually doing, for what are they doing, the stuff they are doing. And making money does not make happy people, and people are not doing good work because they are told to do good work. People are doing good work because they are passionate about something. I like this quote. It's like from the chairman of Polestar, Hakan Samuelsson, and I like it because some companies know how to treat people, know how to be aware of what is really important for people, and others don't do. And I think in the last decades, a lot of companies simply miss to really be aware of what's going on with the people. And I think Corona was a game changer here, because people get a time to think about all the things. Because they are in home office, you are not in this survival mode at your job. This compression, I call it this eat, sleep, work, and fear matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a couple of more hours a day, and you can think of things, and you can have the chance to come to this present moment where you really can think of things,
right,
and not just lead by the outside world. And this is why I decided to go my own way. And since then, it's crazy things happened to me, and I met a lot of people, had a lot of conversations, and it's interesting how many companies are really struggling to hold people, and they don't know why. And
so I wanted to just jump to the topic, because you said a couple of things that are really, I want to ask some more questions about. So the topic, why consciousness matters in the workplace. The first question for me is define consciousness, and what do you mean by awareness? Are those the same thing? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, basically it's the same thing. Consciousness, you can describe consciousness in different ways. In this context, I would say it's really become aware of other things you are not aware before. So if you are in this survival mode, you cannot really be innovative. So people who are depressed or who are struggling or has a lot of stress, you cannot say, okay, come up, make some innovative ideas. It will just not work, because people on this stress level and this compression, they don't see the things because their awareness is like very, very low. And on the other hand, if you look on companies who really understand how to build teams and build a space where they can play around, where they have no fear to make mistakes, where people just be like Steve Jobs said, hungry and foolish, right? Just go for it, do the unimpossible things and think about the unimpossible things, and then you can say, okay, this team is really on a flow state. And flow state for me is like playing around, like kids,
having fun.
kids that have fun, they learn 100 times faster when they're really in this flow state. And this is something what you see in this innovation labs or companies. They really understand what people need and what people how to make this space so people have a chance to do what they love.
What I want to push back on something you just said a little bit, though, because you said that companies do this. You said some companies do it good and some other companies don't do it. Is it really companies, or is it people?
No, it's from upside down. I think if you have a management team which are just only see the numbers and only see the revenue and only see this ego-driven things. I don't care about people. Just do your work and come on, and we have to sell something. This is something people more and more feel that there's something really go wrong in these companies, because they're like, so if you look back on Corona, then this show up. Like there is a lot of more stress for companies because they are more in a survival mode then, and then people are depressed, get depressed, come home. This
Cycle.
fear of cycle of how to survive the next months, and then simply everything stops in their mind, and how can you really go forward? And if you look at the C-level, for example, or the management level, if there is no change in this awareness, if they stay like 20 years ago, where they can pick up people who want to who should work there. Nowadays, the young generation, they have like the waking. I would say they are more aware in the young ages, and they know what they want. They do not want this old school management kind of style where you have to hard work, where you have to really destroy your life at the end, because you can make a lot of money, you can have a great car, a great house, but you still have this emptiness because you are not doing what you love, because you're just doing it for the money. And people are feeling it. A lot of them are really feel it inside themselves, but they do not
One of the things that we wrote in the book that's behind me and behind Matt, Radical Companies.
This book, and as we've been told, the book is called Radical Companies. You can find it at Amazon.
The way we framed it was that the companies themselves have adopted this structure, this system of behavior, which is we call fiat companies, or fiat system. And really, the fiat system is about force. It's about operating with force. So everything you've just described, the stress, the dysfunction, the behavior that people have, the fear that people have, we view it as force, as a system that we've become used to use force against each other.
Yeah.
And the best of us who, like you, I was in corporate and Matt was as well. When we were in corporate, we learned to use that force as well as we could, because that was success.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're very, very good at it.
If you really think about the education system and young people, really young kids, it starts with this education. There are also force. You have to make great notes. You have to, and all the kids are like, I hate school because of this force. So the school is not playful, not fun, not really about anything they don't really want to learn. I mean, my kids can tell you all of the 600 Pokemons and all the stuff the Pokemons can do in just no time, because they enter this flow state. They love it. They swap it into this. And if you really raise up these kids, and then later in this, like I said, force thing, it's nothing else but fear. And fear is a vehicle to push people, of course. But if you think on the opposite, fear is like something where love is missed. So fear is an absence of love. And if you can make a space for people on the workplace where they really love what they do, then the magical stuff happens. Then innovation starts. Then these crazy things happen. For example, if you think about the PayPal mafia, about the guys who are in the PayPal mafia, everybody of them was crazy backgrounds, crazy guys, and they just loved what they do. This is why Elon Musk can work 20 hours a day, because he's not working, he's loving what he do. And this is something with what the management level and the old school businesses and built on this pressure really don't understand, and they lose the A players, because the A players, this is my experience, like waking up and they're, hey, what the hell I'm doing here? I'm not happy. I have a lot of money. I'm not happy. My wife is struggling, and I don't see my kids. Is this really life?
One thing you mentioned, Elon Musk, and he wrote this infamous memo to everybody that said, if your manager gets in the way, talk to anybody else at any level, it doesn't matter. And I'm reading this, I'm thinking, okay, if the management hierarchy, which we call the fiat hierarchy, because you do things because I tell you to, if that's in the way, then why do you have it? Why have a fiat management in place? So I'm a little bit concerned with the fact that you announce yourself with the chief marketing officer or whatever your title is, because that is a form of force as well. I was CEO of my previous company, and I was always been a CXO of some sort. Not always, but for a long time. But I realized now that that's a way of saying, listen to me, because I have the C and the O in my title. You have to listen to me.
Yeah,
you have to listen to me.
This is something true. And for me, I don't care about titles. I never cared about titles. Know that this is a psychological thing which attracts customers, because, I'm talking with this C-level bullshit.
Yes.
And I never cared about before. I had this experience last year in August, where I become more aware of things. And what I can say, when I look back, when I built my team, I was always like completely different, acting like other management. So I encouraged them to really think different, really be playful, no stress, no pressure. I want totally avoid it. Basically I took all the pressure, if something goes wrong, I do this bullshit. And this is something which I'm now aware of because I'm really thinking more of it. And it's something I was doing maybe intuitively, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the feedback I got from my team was positive all the time. So I think I have something done wrong, right. And leaving this company, this was basically the highest barrier for me, not myself, but losing my team. That was not an easy decision. But if you really sitting there, being aware of all the bullshit going on in this world and all the bullshit going on in micro and macro systems, and you're sitting there for 2 hours and doing nothing and say, what the hell? Because I simply could not work for the customers we had anymore, because I simply don't like some of them. I was not committed to the purpose. So this is something really important, I think, because if you think about this golden circle of Simon Sinek, where he is talking about the why, it's true. Companies like Apple and so on, they have their why and they are successful because of their why. But nowadays, it's more the personal why, which is come up for people. Why I am doing this here right now. And this is really a big problem for this pressure-based companies, because most of them are not doing great stuff and not really serving the humanity or the
They're making money.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money. Which leads me to a lot of the things you're talking about is what we call co-management. There's the term self-management out there, and there's TEL, and there's lots of terms for it.
Yeah.
But the reality is that when we form a company, if the three of us form a company, we co-manage the company. There's no company that manages itself outside of the three of us that do it. So we call that co-management. And what you're, I don't know if you're leaving out or leading to, is the other half of that coin, which is the ownership. I don't know if you took capital from outside, from other people and whatnot, but whoever is the owner is the ultimate boss. And whoever is the owner they cannot tell you what to do. Well, at least in the US, they technically cannot tell you what to do, but they can fire you. So you have that fear hanging over your head when they said, you should do this, you should do that. They can't fire you. They can't tell you what to do, but they can fire you. So you do it. So ownership, which we call co-ownership, is very important as well. And I don't know where you are in that trip or in that journey, or.
Yeah, that's totally true. I would sign it, because what I would love to see more in these companies are very low hierarchy systems, where people, I mean, the best inventions in this world are made of 5 to 7 people groups. And so why do we have to this hierarchy bullshit things going on there? Just form the right people in terms of their kind of specific energies they have or backgrounds, and you will gain a lot of innovations. It's so simple is it. And the only thing the management or the owner have to do, in my perspective, is to really make it as playful as possible for these people, so they can discover their inner potential, for example. But if you see what's going on in real life, it's like, I don't know, it's like firing fear after fear things to the people, and they're just like going down, and then get ill and all
Yes.
this stuff.
Exactly.
And they never. I had, for example, this experiences where I really was in a flow and love state, I would call it, love what I do state with my team, where we pushed out 20 times more things in 5 times less times, because it just go through us. But then again, this kind of interrupting fear things from outside came in, from different angles, and then you are again like stuck, or your brain just stopped working
Yes.
coherent. And this is like this, like in this coaching business or thing that people are all talking about. If your brain is not coherent, not in a flow state, when your left and right side is not connected to another, then you are in the survival mode state, and then nothing can happen, because you have 1,000 thoughts at the job. You came home and you struggle because you are thinking about the job for the next day, and then this cycle never stops.
You bring all those bad habits to your family life as well.
Yeah.
Again, that's unfortunate that I have that experience as well.
You're bringing this energy to your home for sure, and then
Negative.
the real bullshit starts, because you are like a mirror, right? You to your kids, you're not really there. You're not present to your kids. You're not present to your wife.
Yep.
Your wife don't understand you, and all this stuff. And if you really get aware of it, and what I said, for example, if you think about this system, how it's built up, because people on a lower level in a company are looking up to the people who earn a lot of money, and they look at them and say, oh look at that, he has a house, he has 2 cars, he's so successful, and I want that, and I want that, and then the next bling bling, and they achieved it, and the next bling bling. And what is in the end? So at the end is, okay, I have this car, and then there's this whole, like, okay,
Exactly.
interesting. It's like Jim Carrey said, I have to become a millionaire to get the answer. That's not the answer. And this is something you really can see in which state people are, and they are like, if they have the next bling bling, it's all fine, but they feel inside themselves, they would never tell someone about this inner feeling, but they feel inside themselves there's something wrong. And this is what I experienced, because I talked to a lot of people, and it's crazy, because it's like everybody is playing a game. Everybody is like a actor in this world, not real.
Exactly.
They put a mask.
I put a mask on and go for it.
And so what
that has stress as well. The idea that you have to behave a certain way and wear certain clothes, and not cross your legs or whatever it is. It has a lot of stress in your life, and not only, I mean, it's bad for men, it's worse for women, and it's worse for people not this color. And
and this is I love this quote of Jim Carrey also too, because he said depression is deep rest. People are they can't not hold this mask anymore. So this mask of the top seller, the mask of the top guy at the company, because they just break down and have to deep rest themselves, because they is telling them, okay, now it stops. Now the body is telling you stop. And it's just crazy, because we are like people are following those who seems to have everything, but the truth is a lot of them are really not happy.
So you've done a really good job of describing sort of the problem, if you will,
Yeah.
and it's very consistent with the way we see it as well. What is the thing that you're hoping to do? What's the passion project that you have that's going to keep force at bay, and that you're not going to create yet another fiat company to do
No.
more of the same?
No, definitely not. But what I'm doing is right now, for example, for myself, is I think this concept of companies, which is right now out there, will just break down. I think it's really because of this interconnected possibilities that we have. I think there is like more a network of specialized people who are from themselves like individual player, and they will use or they will be a part of this network or this company network, but there is no like overhead people on the top. And I think this is kind of the future, and we see it more and more coming from the startup scenes. They have people around the world, 40 people around the world, never met each other, but the company is just driving crazy in this technology area. And yeah, this really disruptive thing. And my opinion on this, this old school pressure-based companies will simply die because the people will leave. It's just a matter of time. And
so you see the work in primarily in creating new small organizations that are designed to be what you're describing, some place to live out and work in passion and love rather than in fear.
Definitely, yeah. And if you look at really big companies out there, I mean, the people don't know each other. The people just know the 20 people near them, and then it's like ants, and they never have contact to other people. So
and they might recognize 20 people, but they probably don't even really know those 20 people. Right? Really know them. There's a difference between knowing somebody's name and really connecting, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and this is something which actually, if you have constellations where people are in big companies or smaller companies, and they are stuck, they're bounded to other people, they cannot leave. So this is a pressure too, because there are people out there, they simply are not like magnets, they cannot work together. And why do you have to work with these people in a big room sitting there and have this stress of this people fighting each other for nothing? Why not really make some smaller groups of specialized people who really love what they do?
Well, one of the things that in my experience, there was people that I had in my career that I loved to work with. I respected them. I loved them. I cared for their opinions and how they drove.
Trust.
And trust, right? Exactly. And then there are people that, this is your boss. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's my boss? No way. I have no respect for this person. I don't trust this person.
Yeah.
And in many cases, I've been, the lack of trust was very well founded. And so that is, again, another example of force. We're forced to work with people because it makes rational sense for the business, not because we get a choice in how we cooperate or how we work together.
Exactly.
It's simply this matter of a fiat dictation. You have to work together. You're now part of that team. Good luck.
Yeah, you are free to jump in this team, go for it. Exactly. And then this psychological bullshit starts, where you think, I discovered in our agency, I had a lot of talks with other people too. And when you really think of it, the people are spending, I don't know, 20%, 30% of their time somehow making this psychological bullshit in between.
Competing.
okay, interesting. Why? Where's this joy? Where's the love? Where is this stuff?
It's all gone.
And the thing is, you can come up with ideas in this compressed and depressed situations, and this is like you can have it, but the ideas are okay. They are nice to have ideas, but real innovation, you will never get real innovation in pressure moments.
So I want to ask this more clearly, because maybe I wasn't very clear. Do you think it's possible to change the current organizations, or that they will only die?
You can definitely change the organization if it's top down. If the C-level really become aware of all these things, what I'm talking about, and to do so, it's like you cannot tell people and C-level people, you cannot tell them what to do because they just don't see it. They will never see it because they are themselves on a low level of like frequency, like conscious level, and they are like in this fear mode, maybe the same because the numbers are not right, and they're emitting this fear to the people, and they just don't see the possibilities, don't see the solutions. If they become calm, clarity, if they really see through all these things in a total view, micro and macro system, then I think they can act in the right way and build up the company from the ground up. So they have to be disruptive. And they have to really do the work, and it is a lot of work because people do not like change, never liked. So the brain don't like change. Brain is operating in the lowest mode, energy mode it can have, and everything is every change is difficult. But those who will not do, this is my personal opinion, will simply die. It's like a matter of time.
You know, it's funny. I used to think exactly like you, that you can grow a company that is co-managed and it's okay, but once it's big, then the whole bureaucracy and everything is too set in place to undo. And last week we talked to Andrew Tilling, and Andrew takes a very different approach. Rather than going to the top, he goes to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So he shows the salespeople how they can make more money. And of course, he shows them by saying, you can be more playful and help each other, and supposed to compete with each other. We can collaborate. And lo and behold, there's proof in the pudding. They make more money because they're more creative and support each other and things like that. And I imagine, we didn't talk about this, but I imagine they can go to other departments and change each department at a time if the manager, if the boss is accepting.
Yeah.
And maybe you should change enough of these departments, you can change the top and things will happen. But I used to think the same way. It has to start from the top down. And that's the only way that makes the difference.
I think if the top is really ego driven and on this old school path of delegation and stress and pressure, I think you can have at the middle or downwards, you can have people who are more aware, they have fun, for example, but there will come times where it's not going great to the company, and then you really start feeling, okay, this is something strange happen on the top right now because of the pressure. They delegate the pressure downwards, and then the whole stuff stopped making fun. It could be it could be that people are managing themselves like this, but I think the real solution is top down.
All right, so we're is it about time or?
Yeah, it's about time. I was just going to say one thing because Edgar said bullshit 27 times I counted. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't count, but it was probably about that number. And I agree with you 100%. And the other thing is, in English at least, we say that shit runs downhill.
Right.
So yeah, if you don't start at the top, it's pretty hard to stop the shit.
Right.
Because it keeps coming down. So maybe that's not the best place to stop, but but it's a very clear understanding of the state of where we are in our organizations today.
Yeah.
And people like you who have woken up to understand that recognize very clearly that we cannot keep doing what we're doing in the organizations that we're in. However, you
woken up and do something about it.
And do something about it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Edgar.
Thanks
for waking up, number one. Number two, for doing something about it. And number three, for joining us today and talking about and understanding awareness of what it means to be in an organization. So we've got, Matt, we've got
so next week we'll have Daniel Hammond, and he's at the Human Contract, and the topic is top-down solutions. Should there be limits? I'm not sure what that means, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. And it sounds like we're back to the topic of top-down. So that seems to be a big topic. Again, Edgar, thank you very much. And we'll follow up with you and continue the conversation.
Yeah, it was
actually, it'd be interesting to talk to Edgar in about 6 months to see how things are going.
Yeah, that would be great.
Sure.
Okay.
Would love to.
Ciao, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.